Hey, I'm going to keep it quick, but I'm just going to show you, okay? So I walked into this room. You can see it's pretty dark, right? And I walked in here and it just lit up. Bright as, like, if I was standing on the sun. It was just, everything was so white I couldn't see anything. Very strange, and it wasn't the light it wasn't the light fixture. Don't know, and it was for just a split second. Very crazy. Anyway, and it happened just as I was initiating this in order to, like, get the video going, because I had a quick message I wanted to send to everybody and say, one thing I've noticed after standing firm on my square of just, like, heal the body, reclaim the mind, and restore the kingdom as the 3 pillars, right? And the body having toxins and parasites riddling it, and it changes how we actually think, so we can't have a free mind and a sovereign mind unless we address those things in our body first. Okay? Done. Then we go and we reclaim the mind by really evaluating all of our beliefs and running them through the filter of, are they true? And then removing the things that we can't or don't know to actually be true. And then we begin to restore the kingdom, which is addressing and acknowledging the administrative prison that we find ourselves in, and learning how to competently contract and live out of a family trust, and how to properly administer an estate, and how to induce fiduciary obligations in certain trustees, etc., and performing debt discharges and living competently, right? So all of that, as I've been doing that, I have found, and maybe it's just the nature of doing internet marketing, but I was expecting people, especially Christians, to enjoy this. But what I've actually found is they are, and maybe it's a false flag. That would make more sense. But what's actually happening is people are striking fear and doubt into my heart, and there's also, like, subtle little things. Pretty much they're just trying to imply that I'm going to kill myself, or that, that they're kind of making me feel like they think that I'm a Luciferian. They're treating me the way I would treat a Luciferian. And it's a very strange item, because that's like, how are you a follower of Messiah if that's what you're doing to a follower of Messiah, right? Very crazy. Anyhow, that was all I really had, and yeah, be careful for the snakes out here, because they're straight up using whatever you want to call. I say Messiah anymore because some people use certain words and other words, and they actually just focus on that word as the truth, as opposed to the relationship being the truth, and that is what they don't like. That's what I'm under attack with, like, by saying, hey, you can make a relationship with Messiah, and they don't like that, and then they want me to die because it doesn't fit their fucking programming, which, again, that's pillar number 2, right? So if they were to just go through the fucking thing that I've made, they'd see how they are the stumbling block upon their own brethren, but maybe they're actually just Muslims pretending to be, or something, pretending to be Christians, and just that. Anyway, I'm just noticing patterns. So just as you're building a kingdom for yourself and you're trying to help people, just know that the very people that you're trying to help, they might try to literally kill you. Okay, later. Here's another phenomenon that you probably won't believe, but is actually true. Okay, so, and I've told a few people this already anyway. I'm just going to keep walking, and I hope it doesn't matter to you. Okay, so the idea is, I need a treadmill. I need to express this idea that my phone is somehow monitored or, like, data scraped using some kind of AI that does go to, like, the upper echelons. I'm not kidding. So essentially, here's an example situation, right? They will take something that I have said to my friends, and then they will use it in their media campaign to tie it to something that is meant to showcase negative aspects of the human condition, so that they can present that to the world, and then the people around me will associate my very words with something negative. That they will, so they're able to, at the same time, they're able to program people. So long as the people are refusing to think for themselves, and they are allowing themselves to be swayed through hearsay and emotional manipulation. That's what's happening. So they'll data scrape my phone, my behavior, my everything, and then rebrand it under their shit. Here's an example. I was talking to a friend, and, like, as a joke, dude, I don't know. Anyway, it came out that I was saying, like, good girl, okay? And then in some propaganda bullshit, and, like, anyway, They just take all of the things that we are and rebrand it. So then they had a thing about Bill Clinton, and he's just an evil pile of shit, and he is. But he was doing certain things with the girls on that island, right? And he would put them in, like, apparently, this is all hearsay, right? And it's just an emotional manipulation, but people will believe all these things. And maybe it is true. But the mechanisms behind it, they don't understand that they are intentionally being programmed to hate people who are trying to help them on behalf of the people who actually hate them. And so people are they don't know it, but they're becoming part of Stockholm Syndrome. So pretty much like Hillary is getting people to believe certain shit, and they don't even know it, and then they're in more alignment with those people than the very people that are trying to help them. And by help, I think I've outlined it, right? But like heal the body, reclaim the mind, and restore the kingdom. No one that I know is talking like this, and there's a lot of just hateful division and hearsay. That's all I see. I saw an email, an alleged email from a person named Mark Epstein to Jeff Epstein, right? Okay, an alleged email. And that was what we have. And in that email, it was somebody asking, I think it was Jeff asking Mark, or vice versa, if somebody had a picture of Donald Trump doing an incredibly ridiculous act. Okay? And so then, what do we think? We're going to just use that and run with it as evidence? Or are we going to use our brains and realize what hearsay is and what it's used for, which is emotional manipulation and decision-making processes? So, and maybe there's part of that too, right? Like, people just absolutely hate that I would say what I just said. Well, are you defending a pedophile? No. I'm evaluating the reasoning behind how you came and arrived at that conclusion in the first place. Well, didn't you see the email? That's literally hearsay, though. So, just because you're fucking stupid doesn't mean that I have to play in your stupid fucking playground. You say the F word too much to be a Christian. Go fuck yourself. How about that one? You like that one? Quit trying to destroy people to try to match your unique relationship with Messiah, and understand that there is an infinite, like, do you know how big God is and how he can express himself in all of the different ways that he expresses himself, and the necessity to do so because of the diversity that we experience here on earth? So don't be fucking stupid anymore and quit ruining people's lives over your own egocentric worldview. It is disgusting. Leave room, leave space, leave love on the table for people to access. That's what the whole thing is. Or admit that you are actually the Luciferian and you would like to be drinking blood